Calls grow to evaluate Bali tourism after Ukrainian man robbed, and some other incidents as well. And video of residents bathing a python carcass causes a stir. Turns out it was due to a mystical event. Here's the story. Stay tuned for details on these and other stories. Selamat pagi. Welcome to the latest news from Bali in Indonesia. This is February 4th, 2025, and my name is Bruce. And what is the weather like today? Still intense. Wind speed right now is 16.4 kilometers an hour at 9:30 in the morning. And the temperature 29.1 degrees Celsius, and the humidity is all the way up to 83%. And last night, strong winds again, and a lot of rain here in the kampung, and weather warnings still coming out about the whole island for the next few days up until the 8th. Who knows after that? Lots of stuff to talk about. Let's get started. Calls grow to evaluate Bali tourism after Ukrainian man robbed. Siti Mukaroma, a member of House of Representatives Commission 7 overseeing creative economy and tourism, said a comprehensive solution was needed to address the increase in reported criminal activities on the resort island. The tourism ministry needs to thoroughly evaluate Bali's tourism industry, Siti said. Bali has been seeing a growing number of foreign tourists after the COVID-19 pandemic, but the ministry must assess whether local regulations are sufficient to address emerging issues on the island, she added. Siti's statement comes after reports about the Ukrainian man who was robbed and forced to give up lots of money, lots of Bitcoin money, and we've talked about that, and no new news on that right now. Bali police spokesperson, Senior Commander Arisandi, said authorities were still looking for the group, which allegedly comprised 6 Russian nationals, 2 Kazakhs, and a Ukrainian. Just 2 weeks prior to that, the Bali police arrested a 53-year-old German national for constructing a sprawling 65,000 square meter luxury hotel complex on protected rice fields. And in June 2024, local police arrested 103 Taiwanese nationals for operating a scam call center out of a villa in the Tabanan Regency. Several other foreign visitors were arrested last year for running illicit drug operations in Bali. So a number of incidents of foreigners, but it's not just foreigners, so hang on here. Bali Representatives Council, DPD member Nilu Jelantic said preventive measures and strict enforcement were crucial to ensure the safety of both residents and foreign tourists in the province. We need to grant neighborhood unit heads the authority to inspect all houses rented by tourists in their area as a preventive measure against potential criminal activity. Jelantic also urged the Immigration and Corrections Ministry to increase tourist visa fees to help curb over-tourism. Excessive tourism and overdevelopment are major challenges in Bali and have contributed to environmental issues like flooding, greater waste, and an increase in criminal activity. In 2024, Bali police recorded 5,363 criminal cases, including theft, robbery, assault, and drug abuse, up 17% from the previous year. According to local authorities, 226 foreign visitors were implicated in crimes last year, while 228 others were victims of criminal activity. And so we do have an increase in crime here in Bali. And so as we have more and more foreigners coming in here, buying expensive villas, buying up land, starting hotels, starting fancy restaurants, and we've got the foreigners and people from other islands, as well as local people as well, who are showing increasing wealth. Bali is getting known as a place where you can come in and ply your criminal trade. Okay, so that's an interesting story. And what about the snake? Video of residents bathing a python carcass causes a stir. Turns out it was due to a mystical event. Here is the story. We don't hear about mystical events often anymore. When I first came to Bali, foreigners that came here were interested in Bali magic and spirituality and that whole realm of Balinese culture. These days, it seems people are more interested in cafes and where to get the latest selfie. But let's see what happens here with the mystical snake. The sensational and viral incident emerged after a video of residents dressed in Balinese traditional clothes bathing the carcass of a python, like the ritual of Niramin, or bathing a human corpse, went viral. It turns out that there was a magical event that underlies the cause of this procession, which incident is known to have occurred in Banjar Galaga in Nusa Penida. And this happened just the other day on Sunday. Head of the traditional hamlet, Iwayan Duduk, confirmed that the viral video was located in his area. He explained that bathing the python's body, accompanied by a number of offerings, was done because of a number of mystical events that had befallen his people. He said there are about 15 of our residents who are possessed. This is the first time that even one of our residents has been possessed. He said that the python was initially seen by residents appearing around a large sacred tree in the hamlet on Thursday. Because this resident was afraid of endangering local residents, he wanted to kill the snake by hitting it. But even though he repeatedly hit the snake did not die and remained still in its position. It happened that Jero Mangku passed by, and the resident asked him to see the snake because it had died even though he'd been hit many times. After seeing the snake, Jero Mangku felt that the snake was not just any snake. Finally, Jero Mangku asked the snake to leave. However, the snake did not move from its position. Jero Mangku had time to rub the snake's head and was licked by the snake. Then Jero Mangku asked villagers for wood, enchanted wood, and with the wood he hit the snake on the head once and instantly it died. After that, Jero Mangku said heavy rain would fall in Banjar Galaga. And sure enough, heavy rain fell in the area. Jero Mangku advised the residents to bury the snake. The resident then pulled the snake carcass to bury it. However, the resident's body suddenly had a fever, so the snake was left there until the afternoon. Seeing that the snake had not been buried until the afternoon, Jero Mangku then threw the snake outside of the hamlet area, about 6 kilometers away, together with some other residents. Jero Mangku, who has the ability to see supernatural beings, felt that he was visited by an invisible creature who asked that his pet snake be returned to the place where it was first found. According to him, the place is indeed considered haunted with large trees and golden stones that have been considered sacred since ancient times. The person who was invited by Jero Mangku to throw away the snake also dreamed about the snake. So the next morning, the snake was taken by residents to be buried and be given chanang and money. Because he was asked to return the snake to its original place, Jero Mangku then asked him to gather the residents to convey what Jero Mangku had experienced to the residents. Because they believe the place is sacred, the residents believe and are convinced that the snake is the guardian of the place. Moreover, other residents also dreamed the same thing. So the snake that was wrapped outside the hamlet was brought back and taken to the location where it was first found. On the way to Banjar Galaga, many residents were possessed. At least 15 residents were possessed, and this was the first time this had happened in the village. Before burying, we performed a cleansing ritual bathing on the snake, and we gave a number of offerings as well as our apology, according to Jero Mangku. And you get these stories occasionally of animals that show up in places that seem to have some mystical abilities. There was one a few years ago of a monkey down the road here. So one of the fascinating elements of Balinese culture, this relationship between man, nature, and the gods. Speaking about religion and spirituality, here's something that happened at the Atlas Beach Club. Bali police visit Atlas Beach Club after viral video of Lord Shiva. So there was a video clip that went viral on social media that uses a background image of Lord Shiva at the beach club, which is said to be the largest in the world. Following up on the viral video, a team of Bali Police Criminal Investigation Directorate people showed up to check out the crime scene. Regarding the viral video, PHDI Bali Province, through its legal team, also sent an open warning to the club. The party condemned and regretted what the club had done, which injured Hindus. The summons was sent on Sunday, 2 days ago, where PHDI condemned and regretted the incident. Regret and condemn the actions and deeds of anyone responsible for the biggest club, which uses the symbol of Lord Shiva as a background on the screen in any entertainment venue. For Hindus, this action is an insult, blasphemy, and desecration of beliefs, because Lord Shiva is a manifestation of God, which is very sacred. In addition, PHDI also urges anyone behind the company to be responsible both legally and from a social and cultural aspect for the use of the symbol of Lord Shiva as a background of the show. Lord Shiva is a sacred religious symbol and is worshipped in holy places such as temples, so it's not appropriate to display it in entertainment venues. On the other hand, the Atlas Beach Club management admitted that the video circulating really did happen at the club. Atlas Beach Club Media Relations Bayu Adi confirmed the broadcast of a visual that allegedly resembles Lord Shiva. Looks like Lord Shiva when you see the the image. However, currently his party is still confirming the truth. This is in this story. There's a follow-up coming up regarding the visual, whether it is Lord Shiva or just a work of art. He said that the visual artists use this material as a form of artistic appreciation that is inspired by the culture and environment of the island of Bali. There is no intention of misuse, defamation, harassment, and or blasphemy in the work, he explained. Admittedly, visual works used for night entertainment venues using attributes, elements, and or cultural elements from certain places have been widely used by nightclubs in other countries. For example, he said Goa trance, which originally came from Indian culture, is now used worldwide. And in another story about this, they said they happened to download the file online. The management stated that the SOP there should be, before it airs, it should be screened to see what was there. But this was a mistake of management and they are aware of it. The nightclub management only realized that the visuals displayed were sensitive because they were related to religious symbols. So the content went viral on social media. The management has apologized for the negligence and did not mean to insult religious symbols. The management has made a written statement not to repeat it, and they have been given a warning letter and been reminded to be careful and continue to maintain and respect cultural customs based on the Hindu religion. That one went viral. Wow, some people got really upset about that. Okay, and one more story, and we're back to weather again. Kayubuntil coastal road cut off, eroded by tidal waves. Kayubuntil is right down the road. Road access on the coast in Kayubuntil Barat, Kampung Anyar, was cut off. The road is an asset of Bulang Regency government and is now impassable because it's collapsed in several places. You can see in the photo, due to abrasion. The high tides that came on Friday night worsened the condition. And that part of the road, there are a lot of problems with that every year at this time. The worst condition of the collapsed road is right in front of Pura Taru Kambar Amertasari. Even big waves have now begun to erode the base of the temple's retaining wall. Residents are worried that if not followed up immediately, it will threaten the temple building. Okay, I haven't been down there recently. The head of Kayubuntil Barat, Ketut Bukit, said the collapsed road reached 150 meters. Road damage due to abrasion occurs every year, as I said, during the high tide season. This year, he said, it's the worst because it makes the road completely impassable. The road is important for our residents in Kampung Anyar. If you go east, it goes through Kampung Bugis right here. If you go west, it goes through Jalan Skip and over to Banyuasri. The impact of the disaster that damaged this road has been reported every year and requested to the government for a solution. Bukit also said about 4 years ago there was a plan to build a 15-meter high wave dam jutting out into the middle of the sea. However, until now, the plan has not been realized. Hasn't been realized. These are all poor kampungs here. Wonder why it hasn't been realized. This embankment is under the authority of the BWS River Region Office. We visited 4 years ago. We're happy and very much agree if a dam will be built 15 meters out into the sea because the abrasion here is so severe. Pak Bukit also hopes for attention and quick handling from the local government, provincial government, and central government, not only to restore the cut-off road access, but also to anticipate damage to the temple, which is a family temple. The incident of the collapsed road that crushed the fallen waru tree has been reported to the Bulang BPBD. The quick reaction team came down to clean up the fallen waru tree. Regarding the handling of the road damage, it will be coordinated with the relevant authorized agencies. Okay, that is it for today. Thanks for viewing. Be kind to someone today, take care, and be careful out there if you're traveling around during the extreme weather. See you next time.